consider myself to be independent. I dress for myself, I talk for myself, I behave for myself. And I like to think that I think for myself. But as much as it pains me to say it, we don't really have a say in what we do. While we all believe we have our own free will to choose, we really don't. When I first learned about this, my whole perception of the outside world and myself shattered. And I hope to shatter yours as well. Now I'm a big fan of psychology. I love it. My bookshelf at home consists of Carl Jung, Sigmund Freud, and a few Psychology Today articles. So when I was in a bookstore one day, my attention was automatically drawn to this bright green book titled Subliminal, How Your Unconscious Mind Rules Your Behavior. I automatically thought, I have to buy this book now, and then I did. But it wasn't until I got home when I noticed that all around the cover of this book, it said buy, B-U-Y. You know you want it. Buy, 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 buy. All the reflective lettering that shows up only when you hold it at a certain angle. Now I just spent $19.96 of my mother's hard-earned money, which I thought was willingly, but apparently it wasn't. Now that's just not fair if you ask me. I obviously fell for this manipulation, and I don't want you to learn from my mistakes. As you all have probably noticed, when you're shopping, there's a generic brand that sits right next to the name brand. Even though it's cheaper for practically the exact same product, my gut tells me not to trust the plain-looking box. Suddenly, I am overcome by anti-color phobia and decide to spend that extra $1.42 for the Cocoa Pebbles instead of the Choco Dino Bites. But not anymore. I have learned that there are different kinds of subliminal messages that trigger the different senses. I have learned through research that there are in fact experiments that prove we make choices based on unconscious desires. Studies that show humans are more drawn towards bright colors and symmetrical patterns, professional graphic designs and fonts. So if you think about it, businesses are actually making their generic brand so plain looking that it acts as a decoy, unconsciously scaring us to buy the fancy appearing brand instead. So are we really buying the product because of the quality? Or are we buying it because of the neurons that are triggered in our brain? The answer can be found in an experiment that dates back to the 50s about 3 detergents conducted by Vance Packard. In this experiment, consumers automatically touted that the product in the blue and yellow polka dot box made their clothes smell better and feel softer. But here's the kicker. What they didn't know was that all 3 boxes contained the exact same product. Who would have known that the colors and pattern of a box can make clothes smell better? I know I didn't. Another experiment played Italian music softly in the background of a store. And as a result, the people felt fantastico. Hence, the consumers bought a Chianti over the Bordeaux. And believe it or not, it's also in politics. I know. Our sense of sight triggers the emotions within us. So when we see a candidate wearing red, we automatically feel his power. We see someone in blue, and no matter what comes out of her mouth, we feel reassured, calm, at ease. You know, we see a bright green book, and we buy it. But that magical bright green book was the best thing to come out of manipulation, because with it, I learned not to. Damn, I'm so close. Okay,
do it.
But with this magical bright green book, I learned not to let things like that fool me so easily. I still consider myself to be independent because at least I know now why I was attracted to that book in the first place. So my advice to you all is to notice what is affecting your mood the next time you make a decision. See if it's really your free will.